Boil release. Don't be terrified of the name. I assure you, this technique isn't pimple related. Boil release, also known as futon, is a natural transformation of Kekkei Genkai done by mixing the fire and water release. Users of this release can create superheated vapors that melt virtually anything they come in contact with. This technique has been used by Mei Terumi, the 5th Mizukage, to blow corrosive vapors so hot that it was able to melt the powerful Zetsu, and even Sasuke's Susanoo armor, which is one of the most durable defensive jutsu in Naruto. The five-tailed beast and its host, Jinchuriki, also use the boil release. However, while Mei Terumi generally uses her to blow a heart and face-melting kiss of death, the five-tailed beast Kokuo instead uses its boil release in the form of steam, which superheats chakra. This gives the target massively enhanced speed and attack power. Byakugan. The Byakugan, also known as the White Eye, is the signature Kekkei Genkai of the prestigious Hyuga clan, hailing from the Leaf Village. The Byakugan is a dojutsu, which means that it's a technique that utilizes the eyes. Known as one of the 3 great dojutsu, the Byakugan is truly a sight to behold. Whenever a Hyuga activates this technique, their already pure white iris expands, their vision becomes hyper-focused, and veins appear around the eyes, due to increased blood flow to the area. Now, what does the Byakugan actually do, you ask? Well, imagine taking a multiple-choice exam, but you could see which of the options was the correct one. Have you imagined it? Well, stop imagining, because the Byakugan is even more OP than that. Not only does it allow the user to see all of their opponent's weak points, it also gives them telescopic and 360 vision, allowing them to see the smallest details of literally anything that is within the range of the Byakugan, a distance that can range from tens of meters to many, many kilometers. From your room window, you could read that embarrassing text that guy is sending his girlfriend 3 streets down. He thinks no one knows, but he doesn't know there's a Byakugan user in this neighborhood. Despite all this awesomeness, the Byakugan does have a few weaknesses. There is a very small blind spot in the 360 vision, right at the nape of the neck, and certain barriers, as well as smoke screens laced with certain materials, can interfere with its X-ray vision. Crystal release. It's quite fitting that the release known as the Crystal Release is one of the rarest Kekkei Genkai in the series, only ever being used by one person so far, a kunoichi or female ninja named Guden. It's never specifically described what combination of nature transformations lead to this release, though it is likely that Earth is involved. This is hinted at when Kiba, seeing it for the first time, mistakes it for an Earth release. Crystal Release also seems to have a weakness to lightning, which adds further credibility to the Earth theory. This release gives the user the ability to control and create crystals out of thin air, turn other things into crystals at a molecular level, trap their enemies inside them, and more and more. This Kekkei Genkai is highly dangerous and versatile, and even the slightest mistake against the user of this release is likely to be expensive. Dark Release. This release is a Kekkei Genkai used by the missing nin, or renegade ninja, known as Hiruko. We're still in the dark about what nature transformation leads to this release, but what we do know is that Hiruko got the technique from an unknown ninja at some point in the past, using his Chimera technique. The Dark Release is able to absorb, manipulate, and release chakra from enemies, using their own attacks against them. It does this through the use of 2 diamond-shaped symbols in the palm of the user's hand. The top one absorbs, and the bottom one manipulates and releases chakra. This release can also create a chakra black hole that can literally suck the chakra from an enemy. And, if you didn't know, in the world of Naruto, when your chakra hits 0, it's game over and instant death. Explosion Release. Also known as Bakutan, this Kekkei Genkai can normally be found among the explosion core of Iwagakure, or the Stone Village. This release is thought to come about through a mix of the Earth and Lightning release. As the name implies, it is a highly destructive release that utilizes explosive chakra to cause some massive destruction. Some users like to deploy it at long range, like Deidara of the Akatsuki, while others use it to launch explosive taijutsu, or hand-to-hand attacks, like Gari of Iwagakure. In whatever form it's used, the destruction caused by this release can be pretty spectacular. But don't get carried away watching the amazing fireworks, otherwise, your mind won't be the only thing that's blown. The Iburi clan's Kekkei Genkai. As the name suggests, this Kekkei Genkai is the signature of the reclusive Iburi clan. This ability allows the user to turn parts of, or even their entire body, into smoke, making them impervious to physical attacks, though they can still choose to interact with the physical world when they see fit. The Kekkei Genkai also allows them to possess and control the bodies of others. Sounds great, huh? Well, there's a catch. The Iburi were not in perfect control of this Kekkei Genkai and would sometimes turn into smoke involuntarily, which doesn't seem so bad until a gust of wind comes by and blows you away into nothingness, effectively killing you. This is what led the Iburi clan to seclude themselves underground, where the wind doesn't blow. The clan's unfortunate predicament only gets worse when Orochimaru comes across them. Right now, the clan has mostly been wiped out, and is wholly represented by the last surviving member, Yukimi, who now possesses a perfected version of the Kekkei Genkai, thanks to the combined efforts of the spirits of her dearly departed clanspeople. Ice Release, also known as Hyotan, is the signature Kekkei Genkai of the Yuki clan. This Kekkei Genkai is made through a mixture of wind and water release, and gives the user access to some pretty cool abilities. Certain users use it to make ice mirrors, which they can instantly move between like Haku. Others prefer to use it to freeze their enemies to death, or to freeze themselves, creating ice gauntlets on their hands to strengthen their blows and give their opponents a stone-cold beatdown. This Kekkei Genkai is so powerful that after a civil war had happened in the Land of Water, the Yuki clan became greatly feared due to the terrifying use of this ability that they displayed during the war. This later led them to being discriminated against, forcing members of the clan to live as outcasts. The Jogan, also known as the Pure Eye. This dojutsu originates from the Otsutsuki clan, and so far, we have only seen it been used by Boruto. Not much has been directly explained about what this jutsu actually does, but we know it can see the flow of chakra like the Byakugan, sense negative energy, and even see the invisible barriers between dimensions, allowing Boruto to sense and predict the locations of portals. Even though the full potential of this Kekkei Genkai have not yet been displayed, it is likely one of the most powerful dojutsu seen so far in the Naruto series. Jugo's clan's Kekkei Genkai. This Kekkei Genkai belongs to the unnamed clan that the highly dangerous and bipolar ninja Jugo hails from. Members of this clan are able to naturally use senjutsu without any training. Senjutsu, by the way, is the ability to absorb and use natural energy to boost and empower one's abilities. This also naturally gives members of the clan access to stage transformations, allowing them to enter the extremely powerful Sage mode, which is usually only attained by a select few individuals, with tons of specialized training. This ability is so strong and crazy because it has the downside of causing its user to slip into uncontrollable fits of berserk rage, attacking friend and foe alike. Ketsuryugan, also known as the Blood Dragon Eye. This dojutsu appears in some members of the Shinoike clan, and has been compared to the three great dojutsu because of its power. What power, you ask? Well, this Kekkei Genkai allows the user to cast powerful genjutsu on the target, either by making physical contact or catching their gaze. It also gives the user the ability to manipulate iron, or things with high iron inside, which includes the blood of their enemies. Kokugan. Kokugan is a Kekkei Genkai dojutsu used by powerful alien Ishiki Otsutsuki, which causes the iris to appear as a golden wheel with 8 black spokes. This Kekkei Genkai gives the user access to several unique abilities, such as Sukuna Hikona, which allows one to shrink themselves or any non-living objects, and the Daikokuten, which allows users to store any shrunken items in a timeless pocket dimension. The dojutsu also allows Ishiki to create dark cubes which disrupt sensory abilities, as well as see his opponent's chakra and lifespan. It also allows the user to open dimensional portals. The Kurama clan's dojutsu. Once every few generations, a member of the Kurama clan is born with genjutsu, or illusion abilities, so powerful that it's borderline reality manipulation. The illusions cast by this user become so real in the mind of the target that their brain is completely convinced of everything that happens in the illusion. Damage taken in the illusion becomes real damage, and even death causes the target to die in real life. And if that's not broken enough, the range of this genjutsu can also be extremely massive, at one point allowing Yakumo Kurama to put the entirety of the Leaf Village into a powerful genjutsu. This ability is not without its drawbacks, however. The brain of the user creates a second personality to regulate the power. This malicious personality then overwhelms the original one, causing the user to become evil and highly destructive. Lava Release. Alright, we're back with the nature transformation Kekkei Genkai. The lava release is made by mixing the earth and fire releases. This release has been used by several different entities throughout the series, and has displayed a range of abilities, depending on who is using it. It can be used to create molten rocks, acid muds, volcanic ashes, corrosive quicklimes, and even vulcanized rubbers, which is basically just rubber that's been made extra durable, perfect for countering lightning attacks. This release is used by the four-tailed beast and its host, as well as by Maid Terumi, who we mentioned earlier. It also has been used by several shinobi from the Rocks Village, as well as several ninja of Kumogakure. Magnet Release. This elemental Kekkei Genkai is thought to be a combination of wind and earth release. As the name implies, it allows the user to generate a magnetic force. Several Kazekage of Tsunagakure have utilized this release, as well as Shukaku, the one-tailed beast. It also has been used by the famed Kumogakure shinobi, Toroi, to magnetize his shuriken, making them nearly undodgeable. The Sharingan. Upon activation of the Sharingan, the user's irises become red, with several Kalma-shaped designs called tomoe ranged in a circle around the pupil. This deadly Kekkei Genkai is the signature of the legendary Uchiha clan. It is hands down one of the most iconic abilities in the entire world of Naruto, and damn, it deserves the reputation. The Sharingan sports a wide range of abilities, which can largely be broken down into two types, the Eye of Insight and the Eye of Hypnotism. Let's start with the Eye of Insight abilities. Like the Byakugan, the Sharingan is capable of seeing chakra and chakra-related information, though not to the same level of detail as the Byakugan. The Sharingan is also capable of copying almost any jutsu seen by the user, allowing them to memorize ninjutsu, taijutsu, and genjutsu to near perfect accuracy. It is also capable of enhancing the user's perception, allowing them to see the details of the enemy's movements and even predict them. It can also be used to copy enemy movements, from fighting moves to the tiny movements of a pencil, which is simply amazing. Why is being able to copy the movements of a pencil amazing, you ask? Well, if you've taken the kinds of excruciatingly painful exams I and Sasuke Uchiha have, you'd know the answer to that question. Now, for the Eye of Insight abilities. The first is known as Genjutsu, Sharingan. These are a type of powerful Genjutsu cast with the aid of the Sharingan. They are able to render a target unconscious, causing them to divulge information, paralyzing them, erase their memories, and gives them false memories, and a whole host of other things. Then we have Izanagi, which allows the user to manipulate reality for a short amount of time, changing reality into an illusion and illusions into reality, which allows the user to escape death and change their destiny. The counterpart to this ability is Izanami, where the user traps the target in an infinitely looping event, forcing them to relive a particular moment in life till they accept the consequences of their actions. It was created as a punishment for those who abused Izanagi. Using either Izanagi or Izanami will render the user blind, so they are classified as forbidden jutsu. Mangenkyuo Sharingan. This version of the Sharingan is only unlocked by a small handful of Uchiha after they have undergone a traumatic experience. Once the Mangenkyuo Sharingan is unlocked, the Sharingan adopts a pinwheel-like design. It enhances all the normal Sharingan abilities, as well as giving the user access to some new ones, such as Amaterasu, the unstoppable black flames, Tsukuyomi, one of the most powerful genjutsus in the world, Susanoo, a gigantic summoned avatar that fights on the user's behalf, and an entire host of other abilities. The Mangenkyuo Sharingan also seems to be able to bestow unique abilities on some users that cannot be accessed by other users, such as Obito being able to access the Kamui dimension, Shisui's Kotoa Matsukami, a powerful and undetectable genjutsu. Rinnegan. The Samsara Eye is generally regarded as the greatest dojutsu. Upon acquiring the Rinnegan, the user's iris changes color and develops concentric black circles arranged around the pupil. To get the Rinnegan, a Sharingan user must gain access to the chakra of Hagoromo Otsutsuki, also known as the Sage of Six Paths, who is also the ancestor of all shinobi or ninja. Before we get down to the details, just a quick warning. The Rinnegan is one of the most loaded Kekkei Genkai in the series, so we will try to cover each ability it gives as quickly as possible. So, buckle up. Firstly, the Rinnegan gives one access to and greatly improves all the previously stated Sharingan abilities, but also gives the user instant access to all 5 basic nature transformations. We made a video about this, so go watch it. In addition, the Rinnegan gives the user access to a super special ability system known as the 6 Paths. Each of the abilities in the 6 Paths could have their own section, but let's cover them briefly, shall we? Number 1. The Deva Path. This path is able to control attractive and repulsive forces. Number 2. The Asura Path. This one allows the user to mechanically augment their body with weaponry and armor. Number 3. The Human Path, which allows the user to read a person's mind while also removing their freaking soul. Number 4. The Animal Path, which allows the user to summon a wide range of beasts to fight for them. Number 5. The Preta Path, which can absorb all forms of chakra and ninjutsu. Number 6. The Naraka Path, through which the user can access the King of Hell. Yes, you heard that right. Under normal circumstances, that should cover it. It's called the 6 Paths, and we've covered the 6 Paths. We can move on, right? Wrong. This is the Rinnegan we're talking about, the most overloaded dojutsu ever. You thought the Rinnegan was gonna have a move called the 6 Paths and actually have just 6 paths? Oh, you must not have gotten the memo. There's actually also a 7th path known as the Outer Path, which allows the user to preside over life and death. It also allows the user to summon the demonic statue of the Outer Path. While we're not gonna go into the details of what that is, just trust me when I say it's as broken as it sounds. In addition to all these, the Rinnegan can also give the user access to unique jutsu, unavailable to other users of the Rinnegan, such as Sasuke's Amenatojikara, which allows him to swap places with any object or person and open portals to other dimensions. Mud Release. Alright, back to the normal Kekkei Genkai. Mud Release is done by mixing earth and water, same as Wood Release. This ability is able to turn any earthen material into mud, which can then be manipulated by the user to various effects. There's only one known practitioner of this release, the highly dangerous Ameyuki. Ameyuki was hated and discriminated against from childhood due to his possession of this Kekkei Genkai, and that horrible treatment is probably what made him a villain. Ranmaru's Kekkei Genkai. This low-key OP Dojutsu has only ever been used by talented orphan Ranmaru. It gives him abilities similar to those of the Byakugan, the ability to see chakra life force and similar information. In addition, it gives the user the ability to hear over long distances, read thoughts, disguise their own chakra in order to confuse other chakra-sensing individuals, and even transfer the chakra to others, healing them and pulling them even from the brink of death. This Dojutsu also gives Ranmaru the ability to cast powerful Genjutsu, and limits the abilities of those who would otherwise be able to overcome said Genjutsu, forcing them to be trapped within the illusion. Senringan. This Dojutsu that turns the pupil blue gives the user the ability to project their consciousness to any location, even other dimensions, and even into the past. If you like gossip, this is the Dojutsu for you. This ability is used by Shibai Otsutsuki, an alien god of the legendary Otsutsuki clan. Shikotsumyaku. A rare Kekkei Genkai which appears within a select few members of the Kaguya clan. This powerful ability allows the user to manipulate their own bones, allowing them to use them as weapons, shields, armor, projectiles, basically anything the user has in mind. This move is so powerful and versatile, it makes members of the Kaguya clan nearly unstoppable in combat. The only known user of this Kekkei Genkai is Kimimaro, the last surviving member of the clan and leader of Orochimaru's Sound 5. Steel Release, also known as Koton. It is unknown what nature transformations led to this release, though there are some hints that it is made from earth and lightning. Users of this release can create steel weapons from their surroundings, as well as cover themselves in highly durable steel armor. Storm Release, also known as Rantan, is made by mixing lightning and water. It is generally used by Kumogakure ninja, most notably Darui, the 5th Raikage. He uses this release to fire powerful beams which he can guide like missiles with the Storm Release, Laser Circus. Swift Release. This nature transformation Kekkei Genkai is a bit of a weird one because it doesn't give the user any kind of elemental techniques. Instead, it makes them insanely fast. What two natures are responsible for this release is not known, though it is hinted to be a mixture of wind and lightning release. Tenseigan. This powerful dojutsu, also known as the Reincarnation Eye, comes about when a member of the Otsutsuki clan is implanted with the Hyuga's Byakugan. The Tenseigan gives the user the ability to animate objects, such as when Toneri Otsutsuki used his Tenseigan to turn a statue into a gigantic rock golem. It was so strong, it was able to go hand to hand with the nine-tailed fox. It also gives the user access to Tenseigan Chakra Mode. This gives the user several truth-seeking balls, which are basically super powerful fast-moving balls capable of a wide range of effects as well as some very large-scale destruction. Typhoon Release. The natural transformations responsible for this Kekkei Genkai are not ever described, but it seems clear that Wind Release is involved. It functions as a seemingly more powerful version of the Wind Release, with which the user can create powerful vortexes to destroy the surroundings. The only known user is the talented outcast Nowaki. Wood Release. With the exception of the insanely powerful 10 Tails, this release has only ever naturally occurred in one ninja, and that is the legendary Hashirama Senju, the first Hokage of the Leaf Village. The power from this release is so highly coveted that several ninjas have tried to use it after his death, through the use of Hashirama cells and DNA. The user of this release is basically able to create and control wood, but that short description doesn't do this Kekkei Genkai justice. This release is so powerful that the user can create entire forests within a short time. In fact, the entirety of the village hid in the leaves was created using this technique. It also allows the user to impersonate a target, as well as create perfect clones that are completely indistinguishable from the original with the wood clone jutsu. The wood release also gives the user the ability to manipulate, suppress, and even absorb the chakra of the target, rendering them too weak and powerless to fight on. It was this very skill that allowed Hashirama to trap several of the tailed beasts, some of the most powerful entities in the world of Naruto. Yanaru's Kekkei Genkai. This Kekkei Genkai, which is only seen by mercenary ninja Yanaru Aze, allows him to mentally exchange information with any of his shadow clones, allowing him to coordinate with them for some very sneaky espionage and assassinations. Rinha clan's Kekkei Genkai. This Kekkei Genkai belongs to the Rinha clan, who specialize in medical ninjutsu. It allows them to absorb chakra from people, as well as create perfect copies of them. Ryuzetsu's Kekkei Genkai. This unnamed Kekkei Genkai allows the user to perform reincarnation, and has only ever been seen used by Ryuzetsu, an Anbu from Kusagakure, or the village hidden in the grass. Sakon and Ukon's Kekkei Genkai. We have only ever seen this Kekkei Genkai used by brothers Sakon and Ukon of Orochimaru's Sound 5. It allows them to break down their bodies, fuse their bodies with each other, and also merge their bodies with opponents, destroying their cells at the molecular level. Scorch release. Or Shakutan is thought to be a mixture of fire and water release. This release has only been known to have been used by renowned kunoichi Pakura from Tsunagakure. This Kekkei Genkai quickly evaporates all the water inside an enemy's body, mummifying them instantly.